Among a million stars, we'll wish up there is ours. Maybe this time it all comes true. I was on my own until that day you came into my world, and it changed everything. Now I'm not alone, and I can see a brand new path appearing before my eyes, but I can't reach it alone. I need someone to show me the sky, and a voice on the wind tells me that maybe you could lead the way. Among a million stars, I'll wish up there is ours. Maybe this time it all comes true. Whatever comes our way, we'll face it unafraid and take this world on together.
Hello and welcome to another beautiful day of Crystalline. Woo! Today is day 11. And remember guys, this is Crystalline. Best game! I don't remember where we are because I've had some days mixed up in streaming, so we are over here somewhere. Oh yeah, didn't we just like choose to stay and fight because we want to keep Amy all safe from the Hard's life that could be void. We do not want Amy to be given over to Void. She is our Lolly, and we shall treat her with no respect. Alright, so I got my coffee. I hope you all got your coffees and whatnot. This coffee is brought to you by Bose Coffee, best coffee in the Philippines ever. YMCA Wi-Fi. Uh, Best of luck to you, Ryan. Uh, let's get started. After a well-rested night, we wake up bright and early for another full day of travel. My legs ache by the time we make it out of the mountains, and they're aching even more traveling towards Costa Coral. It's hard to work through the sand with our boots and supplies, but we make good time and eventually return to the beach in the city. The sun lowers over the ocean in the distance, smearing the sky in pinks and purples. Golden light sparkles across the waves. I wish we had time for another visit to the beach. Nobody pays us any attention as we return to the inn. We plop down at one of the tables, exhausted. My stomach grumbles. This is a different inn! This is a different inn. If I remember, the inn had a large bench. This is inverted or mirrored. There was a large bench. I guess there are multiple inns. Hey, 42. What is an inn called when it is outside of the city? Yep, it's called an out. Honestly, why is it called inn? It's like, I don't get it. Kevin's like, I'm starving.
I'm pretty hungry myself. I'll go get us some food.
Hey, 42, it's your waifu. And it's the rest of the stream's waifu.
Please let me assist you.
No, the sound didn't change. As they stand to their feet, a voice stops them.
Excuse me, miss!
There's echoing? I mean, I could lower the volume, but there shouldn't be any echoing. We pause and turn around. A young man stands from one of the nearby tables and rushes over to us. As he gets closer, I can see he's wearing a blue uniform and a mailbag strapped across his chest. He squints at Leanna, then lets out a sigh of relief.
Oh, thank goodness, I found you.
Leanna's brow is knit with concern.
Can I help you?
He nods, face flushed from it. Yeah, meh.
I've been trying to catch up to you for days.
Leanna blinks.
Days?
We gotta kick his ass and chew his bubblegum! And then spit the bubblegum back on his face. He nods.
I missed you in Illumia. Someone said they saw your group head towards Costa Coral, so I made my way here. But after searching all day, all over town, I couldn't find you.
I feel so bad for you, courier. Not really, but you know, unless you have the lucky chip, we don't care. He groans, his hands flying up into his hair.
The next day, someone pointed in the direction they thought they saw you guys heading. So I kept traveling and asking for directions. I followed them as best I could, but I got lost.
Mr. Proden! Answer in my dungeon. He sucks in a deep breath. His voice becomes higher, faster, and more distressed with every word.
There was absolutely nothing there but mountains, so I came back to Costa Coral. I decided that tomorrow morning I'd just go back to Illumia and see if you showed up. But then I saw you guys, and...
He exhales loudly, then rustles inside his bag.
Here.
He extends a scroll out to Leanna. It's sealed shut with the royal blue wax. There's a sigil of a sunrise on it. Leanna freezes. His voice is hopeful and strained.
You are Leanna Dawn, correct?
He feels like in curses when he's excited. I guess. I guess that's... Have you had breakfast yet with anyone, Kinsha? I have had breakfast. I have my coffee. As for Incursus when he's excited, that probably is Incursus without his voice changer. Because we all know Incursus uses a voice changer. Her face grows pale.
Yes?
I frown. What is it, the scroll, that's got her looking so cautious? The courier lets out a breath of relief.
Right. I'll be on my way then.
He gives us a low bow and leaves. Leanna's hand shakes as she breaks the seal and unravels the scroll. After she's finished reading, she looks solemn. What is it?
It's a letter from my parents.
Burn it! Parents? Leanna nods as she scans the page again. In the game? No, we haven't had breakfast yet. It's dinner time in the game. Leanna nods at... God damn it! It took me a while for me to get that one, and I'm like, wait a second, I know this one. I know the reference, and no. We're not hunters, we're gatherers. There's a difference. Leanna nods as she scans the page again. She looks up at us with worried eyes.
It sounds urgent. I have to go back home.
What's going on?
Leanna shakes her head.
I don't know. I've never gotten a letter to go back home before, so it must be serious.
Kara nods firmly.
We'll go with you.
Leanna hesitates.
But what about Void?
Void will. Okay, guys. A or B? A is Void will still be there waiting for us, or B, can we really afford to take a break? They're not Amy's parents. But yeah. Void isn't going anywhere. They can wait. Nothing. Well, yeah, but the girls will have to share, and we all know sharing is caring. Nothing is more important than your well-being, and it sounds like your family really needs you right now.
That's right.
Zach nods.
We go where you go.
Where exactly would we be going?
Hearthdawn.
Amelia looks thoughtful.
That is where the celestial mountain ranges are located.
Her eyes light up.
Perhaps we could acquire the extract of spirit flower while we are there.
Oh, we'll be extracting. You'll be acquiring quite a few different types of extracts while we are there.
Oh, that's pretty rare. It'd be a good find.
As the group chats excitedly amongst themselves, Leanna remains quiet. I nudge her. You okay? She nods and smiles at me, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. My stomach twists with worry. I've never seen Leanna act like this. Whatever is happening, I'm sure everything will be okay. The Pongo nods in agreement.
Poi poi.
He wobbles over to her and nuzzles against her boot. Her face cracks with a small smile. She bends down and picks him up, hugging the Pongo tight to her chest.
You're right. Thank you.
Poi poi.
The Pongo's voice is soft and concerned. It looks more like Leanna is hugging him for comfort instead of her usual fits of excitement. Yes! She would rather thank the Pongo than us.
In any case, it's getting late.
Kara stifles a yawn.
Agreed. Oh, I'm getting a bit sleepy.
We slowly get up from our tail. Kara secures a couple rooms for us and passes us the keys. The team makes their way to the rooms, except for Leanna, who remains seated. I sit back down next to Leanna. Hey, are you sure you're okay? She sighs deeply.
I'm just worried about going home.
What did the letter say? Leanna doesn't respond. My stomach clenches. Is it really that bad? She doesn't look at me, but hands me the scroll. I blink surprised. Are you sure you're okay with me reading it? She nods. I unpause, unsure of what I'm about to find. I unravel the scroll, revealing large, swoopy, elegant handwriting. The same sunrise sigil is stamped next to the signature at the bottom. Dear Leanna, it is of urgent matter that you return home as you are able. Leanne has also been summoned. Best regards, Father. Who's Leanne?
Oh,
Leanna blinks.
my older brother.
Oh, right, the other mage knight in the Dawn family. She shifts uncomfortably at the mention of other, but nods. The letter was pretty vague. I'd probably be imagining the worst too. I put a comforting arm around her. It might not be as bad as you think. Leanna shakes her head.
It's not bad. I'm surprised and curious by the letter, but I think it'd sound a lot worse if something bad happened.
Then what are you worried about? Leanna's silent for a moment.
My family, they don't exactly know that I'm a mage knight.
What? How come her family doesn't know about something that's so important to her? What do your parents think you do then? Leanna blushes.
They think I'm just a mage working as a researcher.
Why haven't you told them? You've accomplished so much. I'm sure they'd be proud of you.
They wouldn't. My parents are very traditional. Being a mage knight isn't exactly normal for a girl.
Okay, guys, should we do A and say they should be more supportive? Should we do B and say I understand? Or C, it's not good to keep secrets? We got 2 C's. You should really tell them that they're your family. You shouldn't keep any secrets from them. Leanna frowns.
I was planning on telling them eventually. I just needed to make sure the timing was right.
Ooh, bad choice there, Mr. Proden. Well, no time like the present. She falls silent. No wonder she's so worried about facing them. Either way, I'll be here to support you. She flashes me a genuine smile and squeezes my hand.
Speaking of which, do you think you can also keep our relationship a secret?
A secret? Leanna nods. Okay, should we do A? Should we do B? Should we do C? Or should we do D? We got 1 D. Though I think we only got 1 D. Anyone else? Alright, we got an A or C. So, what do we got? Anyone gonna change? 42, you gonna change? Or Mr. Protein, you gonna change? Because I don't want to have to play tiebreaker. Okay, then I'll just... I choose C. Because I gotta be tiebreaker. Why? Are you ashamed of us? Leanna's eyes widen. She shakes her head.
No, of course not.
Then why don't you want them to know about us? Her face twists and she talks quickly.
It's just, I don't know if this is a good time to tell them. They're going to get all this information at once, and I don't think they need more information on top of that. I would really appreciate it if you didn't say anything.
I nod. Alright. It makes sense. I don't want to pressure Leanna into doing something she isn't ready to do. It's best to respect her in her situation. Her face softens.
Thank you.
She snuggles into my side.
I really appreciate it.
I wrap my arm around her. Oh, it's nothing. I can keep a secret. She smiles, eyelids drooping. She yawns and snuggles deeper into my chest. Finally getting sleepy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A small chuckle puffs out of me. It's getting late. Even so, I don't want to move.
Yeah,
She groans.
just a few more minutes.
She clings tighter to me.
Please.
A or B? Sounds good to me, or you should get some proper rest. I pull her closer to me and feel her smile beside me. She asks a few questions about what my family is like, and I tell her some stories. She tells me more about her brother and how close they are. Well, I had to be tiebreaker. You guys didn't choose, so I had to be tiebreaker. It isn't until the fire in the lobby crackles loudly, water bursting within the wood, did I realize I had fallen asleep. I looked down and noticed Leanna had drifted off too, still curled into my side. Leanna? She stirs. Come on, it's time to go to bed. My eyelids feel like they're being weighted down by maple syrup, but I force myself to stay awake. She sighs deeply and then reluctantly lifts her head. Hand in hand, we walk up the stairs before separating into our respective rooms. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I fall into a deep sleep, a smile on my face. I mean, A was a good one. You kind of almost slept with her. I naturally wake up early the next day. I guess I'm finally starting to get used to these early days and early nights. Zach is already awake. He nods a morning greeting. After getting ready, we head downstairs where the girls wait for us. Because if you look, they moved into their respective rooms. And yes, why aren't we in the same room yet? Wait a second. If we shared a room with Leanna and Carr shared a room with Zach, where would that leave Amy? Would Amy also join in the basement? Basement works! We grab a quick breakfast and head into the city. Take one last look at the ocean. Goodbye, gentle ocean breeze. Leanna leads the way towards her hometown. I can't help but wonder what her family is like. Are they anything like Leanna? Will they like me? Around midday, we take a break from traveling. At least everyone else gets to have a break. Leanna pulls me aside for our training session. No rest for the wicked. She leads me out into the field and we begin our normal regimen. Our blades clash against each other, the wind augmenting our speed and abilities. Fighting with her feels like a blur, a dance. It's easier to keep up with her, but Leanna still proves to be a challenging opponent.
Wow, you guys are fast.
I turn to see Carr and the others sitting on the sidelines, watching.
Hey!
I whirl back around and Leanna swings. I yelp, barely blocking the blow in time. Leanna grins.
Eyes on the battle!
Right. Still, the sight of Amelia sitting with the others sparks an idea in my head. Amy and I have been practicing fire magic. Oh no! Leanna doesn't know that, and I can use that to my advantage. Leanna begins to swing her blade again. As usual, I draw upon the magic within me, feel it gathering in my palm. As she moves to strike, I let loose the fireball and send it flying straight towards her. Her reflexes kick in, when she cuts the ball in half, blowing the fire out. The flames harmlessly lick the air as it snuffs out of existence. She freezes, shocked.
Fire magic? How is that possible?
Zach, Carr, and the Pongo are equally surprised.
Am I still sleeping, or did he just cast something that wasn't wind magic?
That's crazy. When did you learn to do that?
My grin broadens. It's all thanks to Amy. Amelia nods.
That is correct. We have been meeting late in the night to practice on each other.
42? Is that gonna be your new phrase? Leanna's eyes widen. She whirls to face Amy completely red.
Wait, what?
Amy nods.
He has told me he has left each night feeling quite satisfied.
That was also...
What?
Whoa, wait a minute. Amelia remains as stoic as ever, but she seems confused by Leanna's reaction.
I do not understand your surprise. In truth, we have shared many sessions together.
I think she's just an airhead perv.
What?
Wind rolls around her form, rounding on me. She means training sessions! My voice squeaks, like I've just struck puberty all over again. I show her my hand, my fingers still sizzling and smoking with flames. We've been training for magic. Lena calms as the wind dissipates around her.
Oh, right.
Zach raises an eyebrow.
You have an odd way of wording things, Amy.
Amelia doesn't seem to hear Zach's comment. Instead, she taps her chin in thought.
I am quite pleased to see you cast another element so naturally. It seems our training together has been of use after all.
Yeah, it's getting easier every time I cast.
The fact that you have mastered another element so quickly is very impressive. Truly, your growth has been established at an accelerated rate.
Should we do 42? Where are you? A, B, or C, 42? We got... we got C or A. Don't be too cocky. We'll do A. I rubbed the back of my head a bit embarrassed. Thanks, Amy. I'm only as good as my instructor. If you thought that was cool though, just wait till you see me cast all the elements. Once Amy and I figured out the connection between emotions and casting, I've been secretly practicing summoning other elements. By channeling what I felt when the elemental transferred me her power, I've been able to cast both water and earth magic too. Lena blinks in surprise.
What? Really?
I see. I suppose it would be natural for you to discover the casting methods for the remaining elements too.
Don't get cocky, kid! Zack smirks.
Sounds like a demonstration's in order.
Right now? He nods.
Unless you can't actually summon all the elements.
I scoff and take a step back, readying myself. Almost instinctively, I first channel wind magic. I've been doing it so long now, it feels like second nature. Next, I materialize a ball of fire next to the ball of wind. The fire eagerly laps up at the wind. Focusing my concentration, I remember the tranquility of the Earth Temple and create a shield of earth. Cool liquid forms in my fingertips as I summon water. With all the elements in hand, I mold them into their own balls of energy and let them loose into the sky, for I am Captain Planet. I wonder what happens if I combine them. We will save the world! I summon a fireball and add wind magic to it. The fire eagerly eats all the added oxygen, swelling twice its size in an instant. Whoa! I drop concentration as not to burn myself. Maybe I should try something else. I bring up an earthen shield and ice over it with water magic. Summoning wind magic, I funnel the energy into a small whirlwind and slowly add fire to it. I launch it at the frozen shield. The ice fizzles beneath the fire's heat. The shield blasts to bits. My friends duck to avoid the shrapnel. Sorry! My breathing starts to become labored as sweat beads on my temple. I wonder what would happen if I try to combine all the elements at once. I try to mush all the elements into one bolt of energy, but my knees give out. The magic winks out as I slide to the grass. My chest struggles for breath, and I gulp in the air in short gasps. My muscles burn as if I just finished a weight training session instead of magic training session. Lena rushes over to me, her brows furrowed in concern.
Are you okay?
She frantically checks me, making sure I haven't suffered any external injuries when I fell. I gave her a calming smile, but she doesn't seem convinced. Yep. Kara looks nervous.
Maybe you don't try that again for a while.
Amelia tilts her head.
A curious reaction, but one which is unsurprising.
I remember the warning she gave me about using up a high amount of energy at once. I used too much energy again, didn't I? She nods. If this keeps up, I'm never going to be able to open a rift to go back home. How do we move past this?
Casting magic is just like building any other muscle or skill. The more you practice, the stronger your ability to cast multiple elements will become.
I guess I'm going to need a lot more training, huh?
Indeed.
Our eyes lock. A light sparks behind Amy's eyes, and I feel a smile slowly rise on my lips. I feel there's a deep understanding between us that wasn't there before. Lena's face still creased with worry.
Right. Just stay here for a while, okay? You need your rest. We can take care of cleaning up the camp.
Zack and Kara nod.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
Boy.
The Pongo bounces into my arms. He snuggles up to me, trying to comfort me.
Boy.
I sigh and close my eyes, leaning against the tree. Pongo jiggles between my neck and shoulder. I'm too tired to bat him away. The others leave me to rest, and I hear a small sound. What was that? Something shifts from the corner of my eye. I blink and lift my head. A pink Pongo hops out from the edge of the forest. She pauses, looking around. Ah, another Pongo. I wonder if she's lost. The Pongo perks up in my lap. The pink Pongo blinks. She tilts her head.
Boy.
The Pongo... No! The Pongo dead. My Pongo's cheeks dust pink against its blue. And there's a bow! How is this not a female? His eyes shimmer with wonder. Is this love at first sight? My Pongo blinks and shakes his head. Snapping out of the trance, he bounds up to her. She smiles shyly. My blue Pongo shivers happily. He splits into a wide grin, which quickly transforms into a lewd grin. 42. What did you teach this guy? The pink Pongo scrunches up her little face in disgust. In a flash, she scampers away. Although my Pongo tries to stop her, it's too late and she disappears from view. He waits and then slumps. He shrinks about 2 inches, absolutely crestfallen. Cheer him up, or he'll get over it. Hey little guy, you alright? His body, heavier than usual, deflates. He flops face first onto the ground like a glob of ice cream. His voice is muffled against the grass. Oh no, I've never seen him like this. Pat him on the head. It's okay. We've all been rejected at some point. He snaps at me. Maybe he's not really looking for advice. I pause and look around, trying to think of something. Sunlight glints off my gauntlet. I blink and glance down at it. Wait, I have an idea! The Pongo looks up at the sound of fiddling with my gauntlet. It takes me a few inches to pry the crystal out, but when I do, I smile and extend it to him. I don't really need this anymore, so I'd like you to have for it. I'd like for you to have it. The Pongo's eyes grow wide. He sits up. A huge delighted grin spreads across his face. He leaps between my neck and shoulder, nuzzling me. He's cold against my skin, making me laugh and squirm. I lift the crystal up to him, and his mouth chomps over it. He leaps down and hops away, content with his new treasure.
You came on too strong.
Zack's voice startled me. I look around. The group has already finished cleaning up the camp and is standing beside me. Kara shakes her head disappointingly.
Doesn't matter the species, there's always one thing on their mind.
Amelia pats the Pongo on the head.
Do not fret. One day, you will find a mate with exceptional eyes and exquisite roundness.
Man, that's not encouraging. all the roundness. Speaking of pongos and relationships, how do pongos mate anyway? Card gives me a pointed look.
See? One track mind.
Leanna gives me a disapproving look. Zach just shakes his head.
I think now's about as good a time as any to head out.
Agreed.
Still feeling the lingering effects of the cast, we make slow time. But continue our journey towards Hearthdawn. After 4 more days of travel, we soon see the buildings casting tall shadows over the gates of Hearthdawn. The wrought iron gates have intricately curled cast iron tips. I can already tell that this place is more extravagant than any other town we've passed through. The guards look us over as we approach, but when they see Leanna, they nod deeply.
Welcome back, my lady.
Yes, thank you.
Leanna blushes deeply as she stammers out a reply. The guards bow slightly as Leanna hurries us through. Should we tip the fedora? Should we say someone's pretty popular? Or that was weird? Not a princess, she's not a princess. Should we do B? At 42, you gotta pay attention. We're going with B. Wow, you're quite the popular one around here. Leanna laughs awkwardly.
Oh, I'm sure they say that to all the girls.
Are you sure they're you're not secretly famous or something? Her face pales.
What? That's crazy.
That's a bit of an overreaction. I know I was just joking.
Oh, right.
Leanna exhales but doesn't seem any more relaxed. I narrow my eyes. Unless there's another reason that guy would call you his lady. Her eyes widen quickly as she quickly raises her hands, shaking her head.
Him? No way. Don't be ridiculous.
Good. I wrap my arms around her waist and pull her close. Because you're my lady. Leanna smiles gently, then detangles herself from me. Why is she being shy again? Leanna hurries and leads us through finely cobbled streets. The shop fronts are all neatly primmed with respectable potted plants and other small decorations. The signs all have various elegantly looping letters. I feel like I've just stepped into a Jane Austen novel. Amelia follows close behind, clutching the pongo to her chest. She surveys her surroundings with slight interest. Carr flashes Zach a playful smile.
Milord.
No.
Oh, come on. Won't you at least offer me your arm?
Why? You always just take it anyway.
She pouts.
You don't have a romantic bone in your body.
She tugs on Zach's arm anyways. He doesn't resist, and soon the two of them catch up. The further we travel through town, more people seem to recognize Leanna and give her the same polite greeting. She never sees a response, trying to downplay the attention. Positive, she's not a princess. Finally, we reach a deserted area of town. A smile travels to her face as she recognizes the shops and streets which we travel. Although she doesn't talk about her home much, I can tell she's happy to be back. Our boots crunch under the white gravel as we turn into a long, tree-lined drive. Lush green lawns and colorful gardens sweep from the road to the estate. The estate is dazzling white, maybe 4 or 5 stories tall. A large fountain sits beside it, the water spraying glittering in the sunlight. Beyond the mansion and framing the scene are the mountains and the brilliant blue sky. Kara's eyes grow wide.
Whoa.
Zach whistles appreciatively.
Damn.
Amelia pauses, taking in the mansion.
The architecture for this building is quite exquisite. Would this be the town hall or Mariel house, perhaps?
Lena twists her skirt nervously.
Not quite.
What is it? As if on cue, a small woman with simple clothes, plaited hair passes by. She nearly drops the bag she's carrying when she sees Leanna and dips into a low curtsy.
Milady, you returned home.
Home?
You grew up in style, huh?
Leanna cheeks flame.
It's nothing.
So you really want to ask her if she's a princess? Do you really want to ask her that? Are we gonna go with A or are we gonna go with B? Leanna, you didn't tell me you're a princess. Leanna flushes peony pink.
Because I'm not.
See, I told you, she's not a princess. Should we play B? So A, sweep her off her feet. B, does that make me Prince Charming? C, I could get used to living like this. Or D, well, excuse me, princess. We got 1A. We got 1A. Come on. Or C. We got an A or a C. We got a. Come on. Damn you. What? Well, you got. You know what? Just because none of you said it, we're going with D. Well, it sure likes you are one to me.
I don't live in a castle. You guys are making a big deal over nothing.
Well, excuse me, princess. Ooh, someone's getting a little defensive. Leanna sucks in a breath. It seems that all of her excitement has got her flustered.
Let's just get going.
We follow her up the gravel road. As we get closer to the fountain, I notice the same sigil on Leanna's letter is engraved into the stone. The waterworks run from a sapphire swan. The Pongo's eyes grow wide.
Boy!
He squirms out of my scarf and leaps for the fountain before landing in a big splash. I think he just cannonballed right in there. Pongo verbally happy in the water as he continues to splash around, pretending to be a fish.
Aww.
Leanna rushes over to the fountain and gives the Pongo a little tickle. He giggles happy bubbles.
I wish I could save this moment forever.
Shall I go and fetch the portrait master?
No. That won't be necessary.
Their own portrait master too? Just how rich are these people?
As you wish, milady. I shall go and alert your father of your return.
She curtsies again and hurries towards the mansion.
So that just happened.
Kara giggles.
I think you left out a few important details, which would have been nice to know.
Indeed. If we had prior notice of your noble heritage, perhaps we could have made more appropriate preparations on our presentation.
Presentation?
Yes, such as our choice of dress.
She looks pointedly at Kara.
I dress very appropriately for my profession.
We just stare at her. She crosses her arms.
Well, it's a little too late for that now.
Don't worry about it. We'll just go in and I'll say hi to my parents and I'm sure we'll be out in no time. Come on.
Leanna leads us to the front door. She reaches up to a golden door knocker and pounds twice. The double doors fly open. An older man greets us with a warm smile.
Lady Liana?
Leanna's face lights up.
Sprojins! It's good to see you're still doing well.
The butler, or squadrons as if it were bows at the waist.
Lady Liana, how good to see you. Your father...
He trails off, eyeing her clothing.
My lady, what are you wearing?
Huh?
She glances down at her white armor. Horror flashes across her face and she squeaks.
Oh, this old thing?
Okay, A, cosplay, B, part of her job as a researcher, or C, stay silent. Remember, in the end, she said that they think that she's a researcher. So should we... Yeah. Okay, we can go with that. Leanna clears her throat.
It's, not that important.
There's a slight ring of authority to her voice. It's not unkind, but it's clear that she's drawn a line and she won't be answering any of his questions.
Where is my father?
Scourgeons looks even more skeptical than before, but he does not push the matter. He clears his throat.
As I was saying, my lady, your father is in an important meeting.
Leanna frowns.
I see. And my brother?
Your brother will not arrive until this evening,
He looks apologetic.
and the rooms are not yet prepared.
Leanna blinks.
Oh,
My most profound apologies. You and your...
He pauses. His gaze travels from Zach's weather trench coat, Amelia's school uniform, and Kara's skimpy outfit. He sees a sword strapped to my back and arches an eyebrow.
guests are more than welcome to wait here, if you so please.
This guy is really not friendly. He seems to be very, very cold. That is not how one of my maids would act. No. If one of my maids were to act like that cold, and you know, and not warm and welcoming, she would be fired on the spot. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna look over all the guests. No, but it's like but it's. Yeah, maybe we should save. It's not so much that his commentary was bad, it's more like he was like eyeing all of the clothes, judging by what they were wearing. Which, you know, you can never judge a book by its cover. You just burn them instead.
no, thank you.
Her answer is unusually firm. Even Scrogens look surprised.
Of course, as your lady pleases.
Leanna looks a little uncomfortable.
How do you guys feel if I show you around town instead?
I'd be down for that. On ducks? They're quack? They quack? Okay, let me ask you, what is your philosophy on ducks? I'm just gonna ask. Kara grins.
That's a good idea. I'd be interested to explore where Lady Liana grew up.
Leanna stiffens.
It's just Leanna.
Kara giggles, but Scrogens looks on disapprovingly.
Lady Liana, we would be happy to provide someone to show your friends the town. However, we do request your presence here at the house.
Oh? How come?
It was requested by your mother that should you return, she'd like your opinion on the preparations for this evening.
Leanna sighs, but nods.
Of course.
Thank you, my lady.
He bows and disappears into the mansion. Leanna sighs again and turns to face us.
Sorry about that.
The burden of being a princess,
Leanna shoots her a look, but Kara merely smirks.
Are you going to be okay on your own?
It will be no different from when we explore any other unfamiliar town.
Zach and I nod. With a short goodbye, Leanna twirls around and enters the mansion, shutting the crystal doors shut behind her. What? The fuck? What? With a short goodbye, Leanna twirls around and enters the mansion, shutting the crystal doors shut behind her. How do you shut a door that's already shut? You're shutting a door that's already shut. What the fuck? The hell? What? She can arrange to be wet to my dick. What? So what's the plan now?
I think I'm going to go to the marketplace. What about you, Zach?
Zach shrugs.
Oh, probably go to the...
Kara interrupts him.
In. I don't know why I asked. What about you, Amy?
Well, yeah, rich families do the arranged wedding thing. Especially in this era. She looks thoughtful.
Perhaps I will search for a library.
Sounds about right.
We make our way down the gravel path until we arrive back to the town. We all split off and head in different ways. What do I feel like doing? Should we see 42? Do you want to check on your waifu? Or should we find Kara? Let's see what Amelia's up to. Hey, Amy! She stops and turns.
Greetings.
Mind if I join you?
If you so wish, I do not mind.
We begin walking in silence. As we pack the marketplace, we see a stall loaded with volumes of books. Amy slows down, craning her neck to look. That bookstall looks interesting. Mind if we stop and take a look? She agrees, and we approach.
Hello, hello! What can I interest you in today?
Oh my god, look at his hair. He looks like a fucking pumpkin. God the fuck. I can't even speak! We're just browsing. Amelia flips through one of the books.
The pictures are quite fascinating. They are unlike any text I've seen before.
He beams.
These are character books.
Character books?
Yes!
He flips through one of the books. They look like comic books with panels of hand-drawn characters speaking in thought bubbles. As I glance at the novel Amy is looking at, I notice they're all the same art style. These look like the mangas we have back home. Amelia blinks.
I see. And those are fictional narratives.
Yeah. She hesitates and continues flipping through it. I'm surprised you're still checking these out. I wouldn't expect you to be the type to be interested in mangas.
In truth, I have never read one.
I could help you find something that you might like.
That would be appreciated. What?
She okay. Wait. Damn. So she said that'll be a. Should we do magical girls? Should we do pretty boys? Anything with robots or hentai? Choose hentai. 42, choose hentai. Hentai. Scanning through the covers. Proden! Leanna! is the easiest girl. You can fuck everything up. And she'll still be your girl. Scanning through the cover as I pick up a manga. There's a blushing girl on a sailboat. Her eyelids are heavy and she's wearing nothing but a beach towel. A strong-looking man swoops her into his arms as tentacles reach up from the boat sides. You should try this one. It's about, relationships. She cocks her head to the side.
Truly, it is fortunate you were here to assist me. I would have misinterpreted it as a warning of dangers of the ocean. However, if this is instead about relationships, then it means there is still much I do not understand. This character book will be very informative.
Guilt tugs at my heart. Am I really okay with spoiling this young woman's innocence? 42! We gonna ruin this delicate flower? Or she's gotta learn sometime? It's a cruel world out there, and she's gonna have to find out sooner rather than later. Besides, she's old enough to make her own decisions. Wow, you're just figuring that. Yes, we are degenerates, and we are proud of it. Degenerates unite today, and tomorrow, and every other day. As I'm about to let her purchase this book, I think about the reactions the rest of my friends would have towards this, and my face pales. Actually, let's find something better to read. This one looks pretty boring. It means about the protest, but I put the book back and keep searching. See? Even though we chose it, the game still didn't want us to go with it. Should we do magical girls, pretty boys, or anything with robots? Magical girls! I select the volume with a cute girl in a pink dress. She holds up her manipulator and sparks fly out of it. You should try this one. She uses magic to help others, kind of like you do. Amy inspects it.
Intriguing. All of the texts I've read about casting have all been about casting technique. I am quite curious to understand how a fictional novel would illustrate casting.
Amy accepts my suggestion. Yes, we did! But then the game's like, no!
I would like to purchase this novel.
Excellent choice.
Also, if you do the Amy pattern, if she does boys love, you lose her because she ends up thinking that you end up with Zach. So you end up losing her. She turns to me.
Are you also purchasing a character book?
Yes, we are buying the hentai book. A grin sprawls across my face. Of course I am! I find the hentai book and purchase it. The salesman places it into a bag for me.
Ah, a man of refined taste. Thank you for your purchase.
Thank you for helping me choose the perfect fictional narrative.
A man of refined tastes. She nods.
I have spent much time in leisure. I should make productive use of this free time and see if there's any research or reading I could do on either the Shadow Temple or Void to help us with our imminent battle.
That makes sense. I'll leave you to it then. She nods and we separate, going our different ways. Should we find Kara? Oh wait, I can't save. There's no save feature. Check on Kara. Let's find Kara! I haven't hung out with Kara in a while. I wonder what she's up to. I eventually find her in the marketplace with the Pongo. She holds up a nice shirt. Hey, Kara!
Oh, hey.
She absentmindedly greets me, then faces the Pongo.
What do you think about this?
Boy!
Oh, you really think so?
The Pongo jumps up and down.
Boy, boy!
Car glances at the shirt again and then frowns.
I don't know. Might be too fancy for his tastes.
She puts it back where he found it. Where she found it.
Oh!
She gestures towards a tent that's selling genuine looking swords. Some of them are decorated with jewels.
What about one of those? Those are nice, right?
The Pongo nods in agreement.
Boy!
On second thought, I don't know. He's not really a sword guy. There's a stall selling sweets and desserts. Everyone likes those, right?
Boy!
Car plants a hand on her head.
Are you just agreeing with everything I say?
Pongo grins. He bounces even higher than before.
Boy!
Car sighs.
That's not very helpful.
Iris the full laugh. I guess the Pongo isn't the best shopping buddy. What are you looking for?
A gift for Zach. But he's a lot harder to shop for than I thought. And the little blue guy here is not helping.
Boy!
She looks thoughtful as she turns back to me.
Hey, so you're a guy.
Oh,
What do
gee,
you think Zach would want?
I am a guy. Yes, I am a guy. Maybe you should help. Yeah. Ooh, should we send him socks? Leather comes in as many as 50 shades? Or something with guns? But 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, he is basic. Oh, fine. Be nice. Something with... Zach likes to shoot things. Kara blinks, then laughs.
True.
Do you have any kind of games out or something that involves that?
Involves what? Shooting.
I nod. Kara thinks about it, then she brightens.
Yeah, I think I have an idea.
Kara leads me to a different section of the shop that has another man at the counter. He is surrounded by trinkets and toys.
Hello, how can I help you today?
I'm looking for wind rings.
Of course, right this way.
He shows us a sphere.
Here it is.
I blink. I don't get it.
It's a game. You shoot targets.
What targets? It's just a sphere.
The targets are activated by wind magic. See that button on the top? You press it and the sphere shoots out energy rings which go in 6 different directions. You have to try to shoot within the target.
That's pretty neat, actually.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. This game is pretty popular.
I'm not from around here. The salesman shrugs.
This comes with an underpowered wind discharger. You won't find a better deal anywhere else.
I'll take it.
The Pongo grins.
Boy!
Kara beams after purchasing the game. I think you confused over and in. But that's just my 2 cents there. Her eyes zone to a location with silken garments.
Oh, those look pretty.
She starts... Wasn't talking about the end, but okay. She starts to head into the section of the store. I begin to follow her when she stops me.
You might not want to go in there.
Why not? She points to the sign which clearly reads Vicky Mysteries. I take a longer look inside the store and notice the bras hanging off the shelf. Oh. Lena probably won't be too happy if you hear I went underwear shopping with Kara. I think I'll go take a walk around town actually. Kara grins.
I'll catch up with everyone later.
About to skip up the Pongo, but he follows Kara inside. That little pervert. Yes, it was a Victoria's Secret pun. Did you know that Victoria's Secret is that the clothing for Victoria's Secret is actually designed by a guy? Yeah, isn't it like in like a 70s or something? I make my way out of the shops and back into the center of town. Maybe Victoria's Secret is that really not Victor or Victoria, but it's everything was designed by Epstein. And now since Epstein has committed suicide, a Victoria's Secret must go away. I think about my next move. Let's go find some time to spend more with Leanna. Yeah, that's English. He's already been opened. But okay. I like to spend more time with Leanna. Maybe I'll go see what Leanna is doing. She's probably done with whatever she had to do by now. I retrace my steps back to the mansion. It's not hard to miss. It's sparkling and white, sitting on top of a hill overlooking the entire town. I soon make it back to the estate. The servant shows me inside and leads me to the crystal patio doors, opening them to reveal a magnificent courtyard. Hey!
Oh, hey!
Leanna looks surprised to see me, but not unhappy.
What are you doing here?
I just thought I'd come by to see if you needed any help.
Thanks, but I'm alright. Give me 1 second, okay?
She disappears into the mansion. I take a moment to look at the courtyard. There's a maze of hedges in the middle of the garden. Surrounding it are bushes of flowers. Their petals add a dash of color amidst the green like a pastel rainbow. After a few minutes, Leanna emerges.
Follow me.
She grabs my hand and leads me further into the courtyard. Where are we going?
I want to show you something.
We twist through the maze of neatly trimmed hedges. The flowers sway as we pass them as if waving hello. Finally, we pause in front of a gnarled tree.
This is where I spent most of my childhood.
Looking at hardwood by this tree.
Yep. Well, the whole courtyard, really. My brother and I would play hide and seek in the maze when we were younger. Sometimes I'd hide when my parents wanted me to do something I didn't want to do. Scrogans would spend hours trying to find me. I got really good at hiding and was able to sneakily move to a new spot if I knew he was coming close.
Should we say that's really cute? What a rebel, or poor Scrogans. Eh? I imagine a young Leanna peeking behind one of the hedges and smile. I'm sure Scrogans didn't think so, but that is adorable! Leanna laughs.
I used to get into so much trouble when he'd eventually find me.
So what's the story behind this tree? Her face lights up.
My brother and I would train here.
Train?
Yes, in sword fighting.
Oh. She notes the surprise in my voice.
Why do you seem surprised?
I don't know, I just assumed you did all your training at the academy. She shakes her head.
It was proper for my brother to be trained in combat. I would often sneak here to watch him, and sometimes he'd teach me in secret. When my parents discovered I wanted to learn, they let me. I'm not entirely sure why. They're usually pretty strict about things, but I guess they felt like it wouldn't really matter either way.
At least she got the opportunity. She nods and places a hand affectionately on the tree. I step closer and notice the nicks along the bark. Casualties from their sword practice, I assume. It sounds like you and your brother had always been close too. She brightens again at the mention of him.
Yeah, he's a bit older than I am, so he's always looking out for me. Even when I was little, if Father was angry with me, my brother would take the brunt of the anger to try to protect me.
She turns to me, the light dancing in her eyes.
I'm nervous, but I'm also very excited to see him again. It's been too long.
Suddenly, a sly smile spreads across her face.
Follow me.
Again?
Come on!
She grabs my hand and steers me deeper into the gardens. Where are we going now? She giggles.
You'll see!
Leanna pushes aside some of the greenery, revealing a small gap. It looks as though it may have been bigger before, but has been overgrown. What's this? Her blue eyes twinkle.
So impatient. Come on!
We squeeze our way through, having to bend low to avoid hitting our heads. Some skinny branches scratch at my skin. After a while, Leanna pushes aside even more branches and leaves. A soft breeze, laced with the scent of something floral, caressed my face. She leads me into a tiny grassy area surrounded by trees. They remind me of weeping willows. except the branches bloom with the long stems of sky blue flowers. They weave over us like a canopy, blocking out most of the sky and sunlight. Some golden beams are able to filter through, but the flowers are fluffy and thick. I let out a small breath. This is beautiful.
Yeah,
The branches sigh. Streams of blue blooms flutter in the breeze. Lena reaches up to touch one, her fingers lingering at the end.
if I ever wanted to be alone, or not have the servants find me, I'd go here.
She's smiling, but her voice is as soft as the flowers. She meets my eyes and then blushes, looking away. Why did you want to be alone? She hesitates.
I struggled a lot with what I wanted to do, and what my parents wanted me to do. I didn't want to disappoint them, but there were so many things they wanted me to do I felt was pointless.
Like what?
Like embroidery lessons.
Her voice raises in frustration.
Those stupid tiny stitches! Do you know how many times I pricked my fingers because of that? And it's not even useful sewing like mending clothes. It's literally just for decoration. But a lady embroiders. And so my mother insisted that I do so too.
Should we? Okay, we can do B, right? Because it let the frustrations all out. B. 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 I had no idea you've been holding onto that for so long. She looks surprised.
Me neither.
Well, let it all out. What else are you angry about?
Corsets! What's so bad about letting a lady breathe?
I laugh. There are a few leaves sticking out up in her hair from the shrubs. I smile, reaching to pluck them out. Lena meets my gaze and blushes. A few sapphire petals have fallen into her hair. I brush those away too. My fingers slide down the end of her blonde locks and I twirl the curl of her hair around. Lena smiles, bashful. Feel like I'm in a fairy tale or kiss the girl? Time seems to slow as I gaze into her eyes. The peacefulness of the garden fills me with courage. I know Leanna wants to keep us a secret, but we're finally alone. Her eyes search my own, and I feel myself drowning in her crystal blue eyes. For the moment, everything feels perfect. I wrap my arms around her and pull her close. She slips her arm around my neck, sealing the distance between us. I lean down and place a gentle kiss on her lips. She responds eagerly, pressing against me, deepening the kiss. I feel her hunger for me as I taste the sweetness of her lips. Her fingers run through my hair as I leave a trail of kisses along her neck. Her breath catches each time my lips touch her skin. And then a faint voice, someone calling.
Lady Liana!
We freeze.
Lady Liana!
Her voice raises higher. The voice raises higher.
Lady Liana, where have you gone?
Oh no!
Leanna's face flushes. She wiggles until I release her.
We better go.
Based on what you said, we still got a few hours before he finds us. I try to pull her back, but she escapes my grasp.
Nuh-uh, it's time to go.
She smooths out her hair and skirt. I sigh. Alright. I go to follow her, but Leanna stops me.
Wait! We can't leave together.
Why? Leanna blushes.
Because... Just wait here for a little bit. I'll go back first, and then once there's been enough time, then you can follow.
Okay. She smooths out her hair and skirt one more time. She's about to leave when she suddenly turns back around. She plants a quick peck on my cheek and flashes me a smile, then leaves. I wait for about 10-15 minutes before finally making my way through the garden. I lost a few times in the maze, but eventually found my way back out. As I return to the main estate, I decide to go back in town and see what else is going on. I walk down the drive until I reach the cobbled streets of town. We good for now? We good? Are we good? I think we're good. I think I'll finally spend some me time. I wander around town, checking out the shops and the sights. It's not too different from most of the places we've visited so far. although I do notice how clean and well kept this place is. Once the sun begins to dip in the sky, I head back towards the mansion. The sky is streaked with rosy pinks and soft golds. A few silver stars wink up in the mist. I meet up with my friends in front of Liana's estate. We start our way up to the way up the gravel path instead. The Pongo sits on my shoulder as Kara walks next to Zach.
I wonder what Liana's family is like.
Zach shrugs.
I am most curious to meet them as well.
Should we do A? I have a feeling they're probably more traditionally minded. B, I bet they're nice. C, they're probably uptight, as in dicks. Or C, spectating is pointless. We got one A, we got one C, we got two A's, okay. I think they have a more traditional look on life.
Oh yeah? What makes you say that?
Just a hunch. We make our way up the massive stone staircase leading to the front door. Scrogens answers the door again.
Welcome back. Please do come in.
We carefully follow through the doorway and into the front hall. My breath catches as I look around. A massive chandelier made of sparkling crystals hangs from the center of the high ceiling. The marble floors shine at my feet, so polished they look wet. Long halls stretch ahead to countless doors. A bouquet of flowers sit on top of a hall table, and a magnificent staircase sweeps in the center of the room. Amy cranes her neck, her eyes wide as she looks around. Zach looks appreciatively at the decorative swords on the wall.
Whoa.
The Pongo's eyes glitter up at the crystal chandelier. His mouth seems to water just looking at it. I give him a gentle poke, snapping him out of it. I shake my head. He deflates, pouting against my shoulder. Liana arrives and gives us a worried smile.
How was your time in town?
Great! There were so many cute things at the shops.
I'm glad.
She twists her hand nervously and falls quiet again. How have things been going here?
Oh, fine.
I wait for her to continue. She looks blankly at me and seems to remember.
Oh, dinner will be ready in a few minutes, if you all want to wash up first.
We exchange glances.
Are you sure you're okay? Did you get a chance to see your parents?
Well, no, I mean, I'm fine, but I haven't seen my parents yet. But that's okay, because Leo hasn't arrived yet, and I guess my father has some big news that he insists on sharing with both of us. Well, actually, if we're about to eat dinner, then I think that means Leo probably has arrived?
The words pour out of her mouth as if she can't control him. She finally pauses to catch her breath. I've never seen her this nervous before. Don't worry, I'm sure everything will be okay. She nods and takes a deep breath to calm herself, then gives me an appreciative smile.
You're right. I'm sure you're right.
She leads us towards our rooms to wash up. We each have a separate room, a testament to how large this mansion is. My room has eggshell blue walls trimmed with silver. Curtains flutter in the soft breeze of open crystal doors leading to a balcony. I notice the bed filled with plush-looking blankets and pillows. I cannot wait to dive into that. Instead, I quickly wash up using the wide basin-shaped legacy cell. Then meet the others downstairs. Liana waits for us again. I look her up and down and blink in surprise. Why are you still wearing your armor? She blinks.
What else would I be wearing?
I thought your family didn't know about you being a mage knight.
They don't, but
She hesitates.
I don't want to keep it a secret from them anymore.
Is that why you're so nervous?
It's a big reason I am. I'm not sure how they'll react.
Kara puts a comforting hand on Liana's arm.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Your family loves you.
Liana nods. She smiles to reassure us, but worry still creases her brow. Scrogens arrives. He looks surprised at Liana. I think he expected her to change her clothes as well, but he doesn't say anything. Instead, he leads us to the dining hall. A heavenly scent hits me in the face as soon as I enter. A long table fills the room full of delicious-looking food. Steam wafts from lamb chops, chicken, bread, lobster, vegetables. My stomach rumbles. This looks like it's going to be the best meal I've ever had. A young man clad in sparkling white armor stands in front of a huge crystal window. He looks to be a few years older than Leanna. His back is straight and he holds his head high, exuding an air of regality and authority. He seems to be absorbed in thought and doesn't notice our arrival. Leanna beams.
Leo!
Her brother looks up from the window. When he notices Leanna, a wave of surprise flickers across his face.
Leah? This is a surprise. Did Father call upon you too?
Leanna nods. She walks over to him and then hesitates. He pauses, then opens his arms wide. They embrace each other tightly, but only for a brief moment before separating. Leanna adjusts his armor, and his brows wrinkle as he looks over Leanna. Leanna notices his expression and royally smooths down her armor.
Some things have changed since we last saw each other.
I see that.
His voice is flat and hard to read. Leanna squirms under his gaze.
This does explain why you were always out of town whenever I would be in Illumia. And here I was thinking you were just trying to skip out on work.
His face remains expressionless, but Leanna relaxes and a genuine smile graces her lips.
Sorry about that. Duty calls, as you know.
I do indeed.
Judging by Leanna's body language, Leanne must be accepting of her decision to be a mage knight. He doesn't seem too surprised by this fact either. Probably because of all the sword training the two of them did together when they were younger. I knew she didn't have to be worried. Leanna's face softens.
Do Mother and Father know?
Leanna shakes her head, the worry returning to her face. Leanne looks grim. He finally seems to notice us.
Oh, you brought company.
Yes!
Leanna introduces each of us. He greets us warmly.
I hope you've all been keeping her out of trouble. I know how much of a handful she can be.
She keeps me out of trouble. B, trouble follows her everywhere. Or C, is exhausting taking care of her. A, we got one A, we got one A. What do we got? What else do we got? We got two A's. If anything, it's the other way around. Leanna is the one keeping me out of trouble. Leanne looks amused.
Is that so?
Yeah, if it weren't for her, I don't know where I'd be right now. I cast a lingering smile in Leanna's direction, which she reciprocates when I look away. I notice Leon's gaze on me. Was I being too obvious? As if on cue, the big doors creak open.
The Lord and Lady Dawn.
Come on. A beautiful older woman stands there, her arm linked with whom I'm assuming is her husband. Loose golden curls fall on her shoulders. Her smile delicate and soft. She's wearing an elegant cornflower blue gown and sparkling jewels. Leanna's father has a strong jaw and Leanna's blue eyes. His hair is also blonde, but the temples are peppered with silver. Leanne marches over to his parents and offers them a short bow.
Mother? Father?
Leon.
His father nods as Leon straightens. His eyes sparkling with pride, he claps his son on the shoulder.
You look fine as always. Still doing that armor justice.
Thank you, Father.
His mother smiles warmly and envelops him into a hug.
Oh, Leon, it's been too long. You don't come home enough.
I'm sorry, Mother. I wish I could, but...
I know. I'm just being fussy. It's good to see you home again.
Thank you.
Yes, MILF. Throughout the interaction, Leanna hangs back. Her father's gaze lands on her and his eyes harden.
Liana, what in the blazes are you wearing?
The room falls silent as everyone's attention fixes on her.
Leanna?
Leanna holds her head high.
Hello, Mother. Father.
She dips in a small curtsy.
Is this another one of your little fantasies?
His tone is less stern and more one of confusion. Leanna's mother glances at her husband with concern before looking back at Leanna.
Perhaps you should wear something a bit more appropriate for dinner, dear.
No, Mother. This is the armor I chose to wear as a mage knight.
Leanna's voice rings clearly, but I can see her hands trembling. Again, there is a pause. I hold my breath. The tension makes the air feel thick. Finally, Lord Don huffs.
Well, no matter. That is something which will be addressed later. For now, your mother and I have some news. Please, let's all be seated.
He and his wife sit at the head of the table, with Leanna and Leon on either side of them. The rest of us silently fill the empty seats.
Leanna, dear, you haven't introduced us to your guests.
Of course. Mother, Father, these are my companions. They are accompanying me on one of the assignments the Mage Guild has instructed me to investigate, as a mage knight.
Her mother and father ignore the last bit of her sentence.
We welcome you into our home.
Thank you. It is an honor.
Your hospitality is much appreciated.
Thanks.
Thank you. Lord Don gives us a curious look.
And are you all colleagues from the Mage Guild?
No, Amy is a student mage caster from the Mage Academy.
Both of Leanna's parents look impressed.
A mage caster at such a young age. You must be very extraordinary.
Indeed. Your parents must be quite proud. That is not an easy achievement to reach, no matter the age.
Thank you for your kind words.
Leanna introduces Zach and Kara next, but hesitates when she gets to me. And A, B, C, or D. Learning. I'm studying wind magic, learning sword fighting, or I'm training to be a mage knight. We're doing A. Should we do C? Because basically, both of these equal this, right? Do we want to go home? What if this is our home? I am listening. You guys just aren't making any sense. That's what I'm saying. So we're going with C, right? It is. I've been studying how to be a mage knight from Leanna. Her patient's expression is darkened.
And what exactly have you been studying?
She's taught me sword fighting and how to cast.
Those two skills alone do not make a mage knight.
And she's also taught me how to do those things simultaneously. His gaze shifts to Leanna as his frown deepens. Knowing how her family feels about her being a mage knight, I wanted to stick up for Leanna, but I think I just made things worse. Once introductions are over, we begin to eat. We sit in the silence for a while. The only sound is the clinking of silverware. Leanna takes a bite of her stew. She smiles and sighs, practically melting in her chair.
Nothing can compare to the food from home.
Her mother looks delighted.
Do you like it, dear?
Yes, of course. It tastes just the way I remember.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, because your servants made it.
Your mother insisted on cooking it herself, even though I told her that's what we hire the chefs to do.
Leanna blinks.
You didn't have to do that.
I know, dear, but I remembered how much you enjoyed it when you were little.
Elaine Dawn wants something.
Thank you.
She's trying to butter up Leanna for something. Leanna's smile broadens as she takes another bite. Leon takes a bite of the roast.
And was this your doing too, Mother?
She smiles and puts a hand over her husband's.
Actually, it was your father.
Both Leanna and Leon look at their father with surprise. Color stains Lord Don's cheeks.
It's not often we have the family together again. And with such good news, too.
Leon and her brother exchange glances. Relief seemed to pour into Leanna's face. At least it's good news.
What news, Father?
His parents glance at each other, then Lady Dawn claps her hands together, flushing with enthusiasm.
Leanna, we have found you an excellent partner. You are to be engaged as soon as possible.
The entire dining room freezes.
What?
Her father beams.
Come now, Liana, don't act so surprised. We've been waiting for this day for a long time now. And we're pleased to announce your engagement to the House of Pennington.
Leanna's face is wide with shock. The room spins. I feel dizzy. Panic spikes my chest. It's hard to breathe. Leanna is getting engaged? Zach nudges me in the ribs hard. I jerk, willing to face him. He gives me a pointed look. I better get my act together, but how can I? They just announced my girlfriend is to be engaged. I grab my goblet, taking huge desperate gulps to calm myself. Leon's brows furrow. He frowns, his gaze snapping between me and Leanna.
Duke Pennington? He has to be at least 60 years old!
Her mother laughs.
Oh my dear, of course not the Duke. That would be incredibly inappropriate. You're to be married to his son, Edward. You remember him, right? He was a bit of a skinny child, but he's grown into a very handsome man.
Leanna seems as if she's in a daze.
Engaged?
Yes, dear. He's been away for a long time, but he's finally returned home. He's a very talented water mage. That's why he was called abroad, actually. They needed his talents.
Leon nods together with what his mother says.
I think I remember Edward. He's a nice man, if I recall. Has a soft spot for children.
42! 42, he has a soft spot for children. I think you might be related.
Yes, exactly. Of course. We wouldn't set you up with anyone less than the best.
While Lady Dawn chats excitedly, Lord Dawn watches Leanna with hawk eyes.
Liana.
She snaps back to attention.
Huh? I mean, yes, Father?
You don't seem to be very excited. Do you hear what we're saying?
Yes, Father. I hear you.
Her voice is eerily calm.
However, I don't accept the engagement.
Her parents stare at her, stunned. Leon looks back and forth from Leanna to his parents. His eyes seem to implore Leanna.
What do you mean you don't accept it? My dear, it's a very real thing that's happening.
I don't accept it. I'm not ready to be married yet.
Then you better find a way to get ready, because you will be married.
Anger creeps into his voice, and Leanna flinches.
I just need some more time. You sprang this upon me with no warning. How did you expect me to react?
I expected you to act reasonably and accept your responsibility as a member of the Dawn family.
I understand my responsibility, Father. And I'm not saying I refuse to ever be married, but I need more time.
What could you possibly need more time for?
To live my life.
The anger beneath Leanna's words briefly silences her father. His face turns red as his anger boils. Leon takes this moment to try to intervene.
Father, perhaps the engagement can be postponed.
He shoots his son a cutting look.
Unless there is a reasonable explanation as to why this engagement should be postponed, I expect her to fulfill her duties as a lady of House Dawn.
He snaps his fist on the table, rattling the silverware.
There's more to me than just being Lady of House Dawn. I'm a mage knight. Something you said a woman could never be.
I will hear no more of this. A lady cannot be a mage knight.
Leanna's mother tries to calm her husband down.
Darling, please. I'm sure she'll come around to the idea. After all, we raised her to be proper and to keep the family proud.
I won't, Mother. Not if it means I can no longer be a mage knight.
Lady Dawn looks at her daughter with a mixture of exhaustion and hurt.
Leanna, dear, please be reasonable. We can't always follow the whims of our fantasies. We have certain responsibilities which must be met.
Exactly. Why can't you be more like Leon? He understands his place in this family.
If I were in her place, I would refuse too.
Ooh. His parents recoil at his words as if he'd cut them with a knife. Leanna blinks in surprise and smiles softly, appreciative of his support.
Leon, what are you saying?
Father, I am putting into practice what you've always taught me. Family comes first.
Then why have you chosen to go against the family?
I haven't. I support the marriage prospect you've chosen for Leanna, but it is clear she does not want this. If being a mage knight makes her happy, then why can't we support her? She's already graduated from the program and earned her title and admission into the Mage Guild. These are no small accomplishments.
Lord Don's chair screeches as he pushes himself away from the table.
I have never been more disappointed in my children.
He turns and leaves with a flourish on his cloak.
Darling, wait!
Lady Dawn shoots one last look of frustration towards her children, then rushes after her husband. Leon stands up and brushes himself off. He gives Leanna a sympathetic look, then walks after his parents, leaving us in silence. Leanna crumples in her seat, holding her head in her hands. Should we say she was so brave and give her a cookie or a head pat? I think she needs a head pat. Should we give her a head pat? Does she need... We give her head pats? We give her head pats. Leanna? She looks up at me with tired eyes. What you did back there is really brave. It takes guts to stand up for what you want.
No change will ever be effected if the status quo is not challenged.
Kara nods.
Your dad's kind of scary when he's angry.
Leanna flashes us a weak smile.
Thanks, guys.
She shakes her head.
I'm so sorry you guys had to sit through that. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this.
You don't have to apologize. She pushes herself to her feet.
We should leave. We need to stop Void. And clearly there's nothing else to discuss here.
Kara's brows furrow.
Maybe we should stay the night.
Why? You saw what my parents are like.
I know.
Kara's voice is soft and careful.
I know. But I really think we should stay. Give them time to think about it. Especially your dad. Who knows? Maybe things will smooth over in the morning.
Leanna scoffs.
I doubt it. He's so stubborn.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do. After all, you know your family best. I just know that if my dad were still here, I wouldn't want things to end like that. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if that was the last interaction I had with him.
Leanna stands with her arms crossed, thinking about Kara's words. Her muscles are taut, eyes bright with tears. Finally she nods. Her muscles unwind, and she slumps a little.
You're right.
Kara smiles slightly. She pats Leanna on the arm.
Just give them time. You never know.
Leanna huffs out a deep sigh.
Yeah.
She doesn't sound too convinced.
I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to turn in early. I need some time to think.
We nod. Zach rises to a stand.
I think I'm ready for bed too.
We all agree. Slowly we get to our feet and follow Leanna out of the dining room. She leads us up the stairs to the hall with our rooms. As I reach for my room, Zach pauses in my doorway.
You good?
His voice startles me. Yeah, why?
It was pretty tense back there, and I know how close you two are.
I nod. Yeah, I can't imagine what Leanna's feeling right now.
Same.
I feel Leanna's pain, but also her anger. But I also feel sorry for myself too, which is the worst part because none of this should center around me. But when I heard that, really? Because that's the choice that I did, and it ended up fine. But okay, I won't go. But when I heard that she was going to be engaged, it felt like someone took a sledgehammer and pounded my heart into pieces. I'm worried about what Leanna will decide, even if she... Yeah, but you go to her room to cheer her up. Because right now she's in a mess of disarray emotions. So you go there. To hell with what they like. The parents try to just take away our waifu. I'm worried about what Leanna will decide. Even if she doesn't get married today, what about in the future? Will she still follow her family's wishes? The words vomit out of me, but Zach listens patiently. When I'm done, he puts a comforting hand on my shoulder. Somehow that gesture calms me more than words would have. Zach starts to head over to his room.
Rest on it. It'll be better in the morning.
Thanks. I close the door behind me and try to get settled. I hold the blankets up, but the sleep eludes me. I toss and turn, but I can't seem to get comfortable. My mind starts to wander. Memories from tonight's dinner begin to flash through my head. Should I have done something, said something? It was clear Leanna didn't want to do this, and at the very thought of her marrying someone else. I let out a growl of frustration, rolling onto my stomach and throwing the pillow over my head. What was I going to do if Leanna decides to go through with this? Would her parents sway her to her side? Then what? The thought of Leanna never being able to go on missions again or do what she loves? Maybe I should check on her. Feeling restless, I tiptoe out of my room and over to Leanna's. See, you do it anyways. You don't get that choice. It just happens. I forgot that. Gently I knock on the door. The door opens up immediately. Leanna? She bites her lip.
Hey.
Her eyes are a little red and puffy, as though she's been crying. I wanted to see if you were doing okay. She shrugs, glancing at the ground.
Do you want to come in?
Yeah. She steps aside and closes the door behind me. My heart twists. I hate seeing Leanna so upset like this. She flops down on her bed. This is the same exact bedroom setting as that Emerald Inn, except instead of it being green, it's blue. No, it's... Donut, how are we doing today? Her voice is low and tired.
I just don't know what to do. I feel so torn.
She shakes her head.
I've always respected my parents' wishes. I've always done what's expected and followed my duty.
Doing well. We're just playing some Crystalline here. She lets out a shuddered breath.
But this is the one thing I don't think I can do, even though it's the most important.
I stroke her back, not saying anything, only listening. Lana seems to relax slightly under my touch.
What do you think I should do?
Wow! Ian, no. Bad. So we're gonna choose A, we're gonna choose A. I don't understand why you care so much about their opinion. You should just do what you want. Leanna frowns.
I can't do whatever I want. I have responsibilities.
Yeah, but you can still do your own thing. Leanna's frown deepens.
No, I really can't. I have to honor them.
Honoring your parents and obeying everything they tell you to do are two different things. Her brows crinkle in thought. Finally, she shakes her head.
I think we just have two different ideas about this. But thank you for your opinion anyway. I really appreciate you telling me what you think.
I nod. I don't think that's necessarily the answer she wanted to hear, but at least I was honest enough to give her my opinion. I'm sure no matter what you decide to do, everything will turn out okay. Leanna smiles at me. The gentle glow from the crystal lamps embrace her, bathing her in a soft, daffodil glow.
I'm so lucky to have someone like you.
I smile. Where did that come from? She looks down.
It must be really hard for you to talk about this stuff with me.
I'd admit it's not easy to think that the fact that we might not be together, but ultimately I care for your happiness. She softens and gives me a kiss on the cheek.
That's one of the things I like about you.
She smiles again.
Among many other things.
I smile back. She seems to be more relaxed after talking. I'm glad. she'll be able to get some sleep. It's getting pretty late. I should go back. She nods and walks me to the door.
Thanks for checking up on me.
Of course, I was worried about you. I stroke her cheek and she leans into my chest. Gently, I tip her face towards me. She gazes at me with half-lidded eyes. As she closes them, I press my lips against hers. Breathlessly, we pulls away. She steals a quick kiss and then opens the door.
Good night.
Good night. The door closes behind me. I turn around and nearly... It wasn't the butler, it's Leon. My stomach knots, but I try to keep my cool. Hi. He's changed into more comfortable clothes, but it doesn't look like he's gone to bed yet. What's he still doing up?
I'm pretty sure your room is further down the hall.
He cocks his head, green eyes twinkling with amusement. Yep, and that's exactly where I'm headed. What are you still doing up? He laughs and crosses his arms.
I woke up and wanted a glass of water. The real question is, what were you doing in my sister's room so late at night?
I was turning her into a woman. She was looking for some advice, just saying goodnight to my bestest friend. We gotta go with A. We definitely go with A. There's no point in lying. We didn't do anything wrong. Leona wanted some advice. Leon blinks.
Oh.
I don't think he expected me to be so straightforward with my answer.
I see.
His face changes into a compassionate, but worried smile.
I'm sure everything will work out. My father tends to be a bit stubborn at times, but I know he cares about us.
I nod, not really knowing what to say. I hope he's right. I hope her parents can go a little easier on her in the morning. Leon taps his chin in thought.
Still, sneaking around this late at night, someone could get the wrong impression.
See you later, donut.
You should be more careful.
Bring me a bagel while you're gone, okay? Thanks. Leon's expression is unreadable. I feel the urge to squirm and force myself to stay calm. I made it through the conversation so far. What's a few more minutes? He finally cracks a smile.
Well, I'm off to bed. Sleep well.
Oh, right, you too. He turns around and strolls down the hallway to his room. I hurry back to my room and closing the door, letting out a deep breath of relief. I'm so glad that was over. Leon was definitely suspicious. I slip under the covers and crawl into bed. Maybe because I was wound up from all the stress, but this time, sleep finds me quickly. The next day, everyone meets downstairs for breakfast. The butler had knocked bright and early on our doors to tell us breakfast would be served. Zach and I were the first ones downstairs, followed by Cara and Amelia. The Pongo snoozes softly inside of my scarf, taking advantage of the few extra winks. I wonder what Leanna's decision is going to be, if she'll bend to her parents' will or fight for her own path. My head flutters with nerves. I'm so unsure of how this day is going to go. If she decides to go through with this marriage, everything is going to change. She won't be able to keep the job she loves and will be. I shake my head. I can't complete the thought.
Good morning.
Leon nods to us and sits down at the table. His hair is brushed and tidy, and his armor is spotless. Suddenly I hear footsteps. I look and see Leanna approaching the table. Her face is pale and her blue eyes don't have that usual sparkle.
Hi.
She smiles and my heart caves for her. It's clear that she hasn't slept well at all. Good morning. Leon takes a seat next to me. She glances at me and I flash her a reassuring smile. She relaxes slightly and nods. I guess my presence last night helped her a little bit. Cara leans over.
Leanna,
Leanna looks at the car, who gives her an encouraging grin.
today is going to be better. Now that everyone's had a chance to sleep on it, I'm sure you'll be able to have a calm, rational discussion.
Leanna nods.
Thanks, Cara.
I concur. Should you continue your discussion today, it should be about finding solutions as the raw emotions have already been expressed.
I hope that's true.
Have you made your decision?
She nods again.
Yeah.
I jerk my head up, my stomach twists. I want nothing more than to comfort her, to wrap an arm around her or hold her hand, but I know I can't. Even more so, I'm wondering what it is she's going to do. The anticipation is killing me. Just as I'm about to ask Leanna about her decision, another set of footsteps echo across the marble. Lady Dawn looks as uneasy as Leanna. Her hair is pinned up in curls, and she wears a beautiful satin gown. Her cheeks are just as pale as Leanna's, and it's clear that she hasn't had a good night's rest either. Lord Dawn stands at her side, his jaws clenched, his spine locked. His stormy presence seems to fill up the entire room. Not a word is said as they cross over to their seats.
Good morning.
She struggles to smile. The tension in the air is heavy, dampening conversation.
How is everyone? Did you all sleep well?
Quite well, thank you. The bed here is much more comfortable than the one back at the academy.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Without even a glance at his breakfast, Lord Dawn pushes his plate aside and folds his hands over the table. His sharp gaze falls onto his daughter.
We need to talk about what happened yesterday.
Lena slowly puts her fork down.
Okay.
Her voice is careful, guarded.
How long have you been a mage knight?
Her cheeks flush.
I started as soon as I earned the title from the Mage Academy.
He blinks, clearly shocked. Even his wife lets out a breath of surprise. His mouth curls as though he just tasted something sour.
So you mean to tell me that you have been lying to us since the beginning?
Leanna keeps her nerves steady.
Yes.
That ends now. You will give up this irresponsible behavior, and you will be married.
My stomach drops. Leanna lurches to a stand.
I am not marrying him, and I will not give up being a mage knight.
Shock ripples through me. At the same time, so does relief. Her father sighs deeply, exasperated.
Why must you make this so difficult, Liana?
I'm not the one who's making things difficult.
I would have assumed that you would have thought this through last night, but you are still being completely irrational.
The heat returns to Leanna's voice.
I'm not the one who's forcing me to give up my dream and purpose in life.
Oh, spare me the theatrics. How could this be your dream? Don't you realize how dangerous it is to be a mage knight?
Yes, I do realize that. I live it every day. But at least, as a mage knight, I'm well equipped to take care of myself. I've been trained to handle danger.
He shakes his head.
You can't be prepared for every circumstance. What if you get ambushed, outnumbered, or overwhelmed in battle? What if your teammates fall and you're the only one left?
So what if that does happen? How can we live life based on hypotheticals? What if I became ill? What if I couldn't bear children? Would you still force me to get married? But if those things happened, I wouldn't be able to fulfill my duty as a lady in the House of Dawn. Then what?
Her father scowls and waves a hand dismissively.
That's not the same. Those are all based on chance. You aren't throwing yourself into situations which would allow those things to occur. As a mage knight, you're walking into those scenarios every day.
Lena points a finger at Leon. Her voice is shrill as she tries to keep her composure.
What about Leo then? He's a mage knight who walks into danger every day. Why aren't you worried about him?
Because it's his responsibility to serve and protect as a man in the House of Dawn.
For once, Leanna is speechless. Silence settles over the table like a heavy blanket. Her mother stares at her lap, as still as a statue. Leon opens and closes his mouth as if he wants to speak but couldn't find the words to say. Her father nods.
Now that you've come to your senses, we can discuss the details of the engagement.
No.
The rage returns to his father's face.
How many times must we go round in this endless game? When will you accept your responsibility as a lady in the House of Dawn?
Leanna's voice is scarily calm.
If this is what it takes to be a Dawn, then I don't want to be a Dawn anymore.
Ooh. She's willing to give everything up. There is a momentary pause, so still, you can't even hear breathing. Leanna stares sharply at her,
Leah.
but Leanna just shakes her head. Her mother laughs shakily.
Let's just calm down, all right, dear? We know you don't mean that.
She reaches for her daughter's hand, but Leanna pulls away.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I meant what I said.
Her mother's face crumbles as hurt creases the brow. Her father scoffs.
Liana, don't be ridiculous.
I'm serious, Father.
He's about to respond when Leanna interrupts.
Father, listen to her. She's not joking.
He looks from Leon to Liana, and slowly the anger melts from his face to be replaced with confusion and pain. He looks at Liana as if he's looking at a stranger. He shakes his head and abruptly stands to his feet.
I can't have a discussion with you when you're like this. Come find me when you're ready to have a discussion like adults.
Without waiting for a response, he slams the door open and storms out of the dining room.
I'll go talk to him.
Leon scrambles after him. Leanna's mother remains in the room. She seems defeated.
Come now, dear. Really. Think about what you're saying.
Leanna's voice softens as she sees the pain in her mother's eyes.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I've made my decision. I've tried to be a good daughter to you, and I've tried to make my house proud. But what you're asking me to do this time, I can't. I just can't.
Her mother sighs deeply and closes her eyes. Leanna looks at the rest of us.
We should go.
Her voice has a note of finality to it. Without a word, we scrape our chairs back and follow Leanna out of the room. As we leave, I hear Lady Dawn's faint voice.
Leah, I'll always be proud of you, no matter what.
Leanna stops, stunned. She looks back at her mother, her eyes glittering. She rushes to her and throws her arms around her in a hug. Her mother hugs her back, gripping her tightly. All too soon, she releases her daughter. Leanna turns back around and leads us back into the main foyer. We wait as servants gather our belongings. Kara gently touches Leanna's arm.
Hey, what you did back there.
I know.
Kara hesitates.
Are you doing okay?
I don't know. A part of me feels lighter, but another part of me just feels sad.
Alright, guys. Should we do A, B, or C? A is a fresh start, could be good. B is won't you miss them? Or C, there's nothing. No, I would actually go with A. Only because throughout the entire game, she's always felt, hey, let me finish, shut up, let me talk, let me speak, the kitchen is speaking. If we go with A, the only reason I choose A for this one is because throughout the entire game, Leanna's always felt under pressure of being a Dawn. She's always felt that she has to be proper, prim, elegant. If she's going for a fresh start, she's basically casting aside all of her negative emotions, all of what she's been trained to be, and she can be who she wants. In the game, her Dawn last name was a weighing of an anchor that's caused her drama, that's caused her grief, that's caused her suffering. B is more like, are you sure you want to give up being a Dawn? A is basically, you know, you're casting away your weight, your burden. B is like, are you sure you want to... B is won't you miss them, as in, yeah, A is supporting her choice. That's how I'm interpreting this. But if you guys have a different opinion, please go ahead. 42 and Ian or Owen. A is good. Do we go with A? Yes, D. Well, she is gonna get the D. There's just no D is there's no D choice here at the time. Our family's gonna shape a lot of who we become, but we can't let them define who you are. You're much more than being a Dawn. You're also a kick-ass mage knight.
Thanks. Your support means a lot to me.
See? That's why I went with A. You know, when I left the military, I did my time. I did my time in service and I left the military. And, you know, my family has 5 generations that have done military career. And the majority of them are retired military. So when I left the military, there was like disappointment in my parents and my family, saying that I failed the family. So I could kind of see why having a fresh start and wanting to drop the name was, you know, a relief. So I could personally relate to it. That's only one injury I suffered. We fall silent. Suddenly a voice calls out.
Liana.
We freeze and slowly turn around. Lord Dawn and Leon stand behind us, their cloaks billowing behind them. Lord Dawn straightens and clears his throat.
Liana.
Father.
I had hoped that you would move past this childishness and accept your responsibility.
Leona's about to retort, but he holds up a hand.
But I see now that being a mage knight means something far more to you.
He glances down at his daughter.
I don't agree with your decision to willingly put yourself in danger. But I would.
Lord Dawn pauses, struggling to find the right words. I doubt he's used to anyone challenging him.
I would rather have a daughter who would recklessly put herself in danger for the sake of others than no daughter at all.
Leona's eyes well up. She rushes to her father and wraps him in a big hug. She stiffens in surprise, uncomfortable and uncertain, but as the shock wears off, a small smile tugs at his lips and he hugs her back. Soon he breaks the hug. Leona wipes at her eyes and her father clears his throat.
Now, there is only one thing missing for you to be truly recognized as a mage knight.
The purple armor is the only thing missing for her to be a mage knight. Purple armor. Bring in the purple armor. Will there be purple armor?
What's that?
No. Leon hands his father a wrapped blade, which Lord Dawn carefully unwraps. A sharp silver blade with an ornate sapphire hilt glitters beneath the light.
Each of these blades has a legacy. They have been passed down to the sons of our house for generations. But it has never been passed down to a woman before today, as we've never had a woman mage knight in the family. That is, before you, my daughter.
Lord Dawn smiles proudly at Leanna. He reverently offers the sword to her. She carefully takes the blade and scabbard and straps it to herself.
Thank you, Father.
One can say she strapped on the sword.
Treat it well, and it will take care of you.
I will.
You can always come home, too. Your mother will find another suitable match for you.
Father!
That is, when you are ready.
Leanna smiles.
Thank you.
He clears his throat.
Good, well.
He clears his throat and straightens as if talking to a knight.
Be safe, be decisive, be vigilant. Above all else, Be honorable.
Leanna salutes and Lord Dawn puts a hand on her shoulder. He nods and heads back to the dining room. Leon lingers behind.
So you're officially a mage knight now.
Leanna lets out the breath she was holding. The tension in her body eases as she turns to Leon.
Well, I've actually officially been one for a while.
I know. You looked radiant when you walked on that stage.
Leanna blinks.
Wait, you were there? You knew?
He grins.
You didn't think I'd miss my baby sister's graduation, did you?
Aww. Her mouth falls open.
How did you know? And why didn't you tell me? We could have...
He laughs and pulls her into a hug.
I'm proud of you, Leah. Maybe I'll be able to catch you next time you're in Illumia.
She hugs him back.
Of course.
They break away still smiling.
I bet you're relieved you don't have to get married anytime soon.
Yes.
Although Edward really isn't a bad guy. He's kind and generous and easy on the eyes, too.
Leanna wrinkles her nose.
Thanks, but no thanks.
That was a pretty quick rejection. You have someone else in mind?
Leanna blushes, but shakes her head.
No. I'm just not ready to give up my freedom.
Uh-huh. I'm sure that's it.
Yep.
Good, good. Because you'd tell me if you were seeing someone, right?
Leanna's voice is squeaky.
Of course.
No matter who he may be?
I tell you.
Even if you were standing right here, right now?
I feel the color drain my face. Leanna darts a glance at me, but tries to keep her composure.
I'd still tell you.
Leon gives Leanna a look.
Okay, maybe not immediately, but when I'm ready.
He smiles.
Good.
When Leanna turns her back for a second, Leon's eyes bore into me. A shudder runs up my spine as I notice the bright glint in his armor matching the glint in his eyes. He has to know, right? Or maybe he's trying to bluff. Don't look, don't look, don't look! Don't let him smell your fear, or he's definitely bluffing. He is smart. He isn't bluffing. I would say B. Yeah, I agree with B on this one. I force myself to keep his gaze. He's not gonna intimidate me. I haven't done anything wrong. When Leanna looks back, he breaks the gaze. Why do I say glaze? My legs feel weak as relief washes over me. I held my own, but I do not want to do that again.
Stay safe.
You too.
They have one last quick hug before breaking apart. Leo gives the rest of us a farewell salute, and then turns and follows his father. Yes, use protection. You don't want to grab boobs. That gets you pregnant. Squadrons waits for us at the door. After saying goodbye, we return to the gravel path and begin to trek back down the long drive. Well, that turned out to be better than expected.
Yes.
Leanna is all smiles as we continue to walk. She seems to hold herself taller, finally feeling free from the weight of her responsibilities. Her happy mood greatly improves our spirits.
It would seem that as this business has concluded, we should continue our travels.
Agreed.
She checks the sun in the sky.
We've still got most of the day to travel. We should be able to cover a good distance before we have to stop for camp.
Leanna leads us through the town and back onto the open road. We travel through smaller roads to return to course, making our way towards the Shadow Temple. Although Leanna's mood seems fine, she's quiet for most of the journey. The rest of us keep talking to a minimal, as it's been an emotionally draining couple of days, and we're all feeling the effects from that. Leanna's relationship with her parents is complex. I know she has a deep respect and strong bond with her family, but after this morning, it's obvious her family loves her. I'm glad they were able to reach some sort of understanding and remembered what is important. As we leave Hearth Dawn behind us, we begin to focus on what's ahead of us. When the sun hangs high in the sky, we stop to take a break. I gladly sat down and rest my weary feet. When Leanna approaches me slowly, I shift my gaze up to her. She looks at me expectantly. Are we training today?
Yes, why wouldn't we?
I just wasn't sure how you were feeling after this moment.
Honestly, I'm okay. Although I still wish they can accept my decision the same way they accept Leo. But I can tell that they're trying hard to understand.
Sapphires are blue, right? Or are they red? Eh. Both of you! A or C, we got B, of course. It's a stalemate. So I'm gonna go with A. The fact that they're trying means that they care, and that's really all you can hope for. Leanna nods.
But just because we've had this talk, doesn't mean you can get to skip out on training.
I push myself to my feet. I wouldn't dream of it. We split off from the group and get ready. Then Leanna pauses.
Actually, you can still cast other elements, right?
I nod. Why don't I practice with all of them? She looks surprised.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
I remember the fatigue I felt last time I tried that. I have to get stronger somehow, and the best way to do it is to keep at it.
That's true.
Why the hesitation?
Sparring against 4 elements is a challenge for me, too. I think I may need some backup.
She grins and returns to the group, who are in the midst of eating and resting.
That was quick. Something happened?
Not yet. I came to enlist your help.
Whose help?
All of yours.
She asks the team to help with training since I'll be casting all the elements. Zach gets to his feet.
I'm in.
Oh, well, good.
He grins.
Any excuse to shoot something.
She gives him a wary look. Amy jumps to her feet, then brushes off her skirt.
I will provide my expertise as well, as I am well versed in 2 of the 4 elements he can cast. I will be able to provide more guidance to his casts.
Leanna nods and we all look at Kara.
If everyone else is in, then I'm in too.
Leanna leads with everyone back in the open space where I wait for them. Zach wastes no time. He digs into his holsters and puts out his dischargers.
Get ready.
I ready myself as they get into position. Once we're all set, Zach fires and I leap out of the way. The others rush in. Amelia shoots a ball of fire at my chest. But away from my hand, a wall of water shoots up, obliterating the blow with a hiss. Zach fires his discharger. My face curls into a brow, forcing up another earth shield. Violet light booms and explodes against it. The earth explodes up into the air. Leanna flurs towards me, but wind howls around my frame. I zip out of the way, blocking her with a score of heavy blows. Kara lunges just as Kara swings. Kara lunges just as Leanna swings. I shove them both back with an explosion of wind. They squeak and fly backwards. Another violet light cracks near my head, then another and another. I dash out of the way, a gale freezing and howling on my ears. Amelia's face braces glow. Ice pours from her palm. It groans across the grass, and I realize she's trying to wrap the ice around my feet. I wave my hand, melting her attack with a wave of shimmering heat. I barely have time to think, I just react. Another trail of fire flies at me and I block it with a curtain shield. But as soon as I do that, I raise my sword to deflect Kara's dagger. I spin around and duck beneath Leanna's sword, pushing her back with a gale force blow before raising another earthen barrier to block both Zach's shots and Amelia's magic. My breathing is labored, but I don't dare slow down, even though I can see the fatigue starting to settle in on my friends. I'm starting to wear them down. I knew hope blooms within me, bringing another surge of adrenaline. And 1v4 is nothing. Leanna and Kara hang back, their chests heaving. They exchange glances with Zach and Amy and nod. Uh-oh, I don't like the look of that. All at once they rush me. Zach fires off 2 rounds as he races towards me, which is deflected with my magic. Using wind to augment my speed, I twist out a car's range and meet Leanna's strike with my sword. As if my teammates' strikes become more coordinated, I struggle to keep up with the resilient attacks. The frustration builds within me. I need to separate them, but no matter how often I manage to push one away, there are three more filling in. There must be something I can do to gain some distance. Ah! I forcefully gather energy in my fist. I leap into the air and crash down, pounding my fist into the earth. A blinding white light explodes across the field nearly as each of the four elements. I hear the yelps from my friends as they're knocked back. There's a small crater where my fist landed in the ground, and the nearby grass and leaves are singed. My friends stir on the ground, looking dazed and confused. A fierce pain twists into my chest. It unfurls and spreads like fire. I cry out, collapsing to my knees. Spots dance in front of my eyes as I crumple to the ground.
Oh no!
Leanna shoots up. She sprints towards me, her sword forgotten in the grass. Her arms wrap around my shoulders.
Are you alright?
I groan. Her face is a little blurry. A, don't worry about me. B, be a sarcastic ass and say goodbye, cruel world. Or C, I've been better. I try to shift and let out another groan. I've definitely seen some better days.
Try to take it easy.
The others gather around me too. Are you guys okay? They nod.
Don't worry about us. We're fine. Barely. What's going on with you?
I shake my head. I don't know. I groan, gripping my chest.
It seems your body cannot endure the amount of energy you mass exerted.
She pauses, thinking.
Although incredibly potent and powerful, amassing such quantities of energy is proving to be quite dangerous.
So basically, the amount of magic we have is ripping our body apart. It wasn't that much though. I can still feel a lot of untapped energy within.
If that is the case, I would highly recommend not attempting to summon all of your energy at once. Ever.
Ever?
Indeed. If what you say is true, while you may have an incredible amount of energy stored within you, you are still limited by your mind and body. I fear such an excessive usage of energy could prove to be fatal.
42, glass cannon. That fits me perfectly, especially in my gameplay. When I was doing STO, I could do a 1v10 and wipe the map with them by myself. And in my forts playing, I just go 3 cannons and got no protection, and it's like glass cannon. Oh, glass cannon builds is like fun. I remember rushing. It was you, right? The one who did the 3 cannon timing, and you got it even down to like what? What were we on? Down to like minute 40 seconds for first cannon. All 3 cannons were like 4 minutes. And then we just creamed the map with it. It was great. I thought it was 6 minutes where we had all the doors on it too. A sense of dread fills my stomach. I guess I can't avoid it. That's going to make eventually casting a rift very difficult. Exhaustion ripples through me. I moan and close my eyes.
You should rest. Come on, we'll help you.
They haul me to my feet. One of my arms is around Zach's shoulders, the other around Leanna's. They help me over to the pile of bags and packs. I lean against the packs of my teammates rest and clean up. My eyes feel heavy. Sorry, excuse me. And I fight to keep them open. I'll just close them for a minute. The sounds fade away as sleep overtakes me. A sound awakens me. I groan and blink, my eyes adjusting to the golden glow of firelight. Whoa, it's dark out. I groaned, sitting on top of my bedroll. Someone must have moved me, and I didn't notice. How long was I out? I sit up and glance around. Not sure where Leanna and Amelia are, but Kara and Zach are still hanging by the camp. Kara hands Zach a perfectly wrapped present.
Hey, I got you something.
Zach blinks.
Got me something.
She grins and nods. I keep quiet, watching the scene unfold. I didn't think they realized I'm awake yet. Zach tilts the present from side to side, curious, and then he shakes it.
Hey, be careful!
Why? What's inside?
You have to open it and see.
He shrugs and tears apart the wrapping paper without mercy, reminding me like a little kid on his birthday. He pauses. Kara grins in anticipation. Zach stares down into the box.
What am I even looking at? Where's the present?
Kara puts the hands on her hips.
You're staring at it.
He continues to stare.
Wow. I try to be thoughtful and get you a present, and this is how you react?
Zach's cheeks turn red as he sheepishly replies.
Oh, right. I mean, thank you. This is great.
Kara pouts.
You don't even know what it is.
Zach doesn't answer.
It's a wind ring.
Zach stares at her blankly.
When you turn it on, it gives you targets you can shoot.
As soon as Zach hears the word shoot, he immediately perks up. He gingerly takes the sphere out of the box and inspects it.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
I know. That's why I got it.
Zach sets the sphere down and presses the button in the center. There's a low mechanical noise followed by a whoosh of wind. He readies his dischargers as the targets materialize. In a flash, Zach shoots through each target, dissolving them in the air. He grins, satisfied, spinning his discharger in triumph.
Oh, that looks fun.
He looks at her.
You wanna try?
Aw, he's letting her touch his discharger. She's probably used to touching his dischargers every morning for breakfast. You're welcome! He hands her the discharger. She holds it awkwardly, but nods to Zach. He pushes the button and another sets of appear. Targets appear. Kara squints one eye. She lines up her shot. When she pulls the trigger, she didn't expect the recoil, and she ends up shooting wide. Her next few shots don't fare much better. Zach laughs at her attempts, to which Kara pouts.
No fair. I've never used one of these things before.
Here.
Zach goes to move behind her and wraps her arm around her. He molds his hands around hers. Kara beams, her cheeks pink. Zach's voice is in a low murmur by her ear.
You have to hold it up like this.
He lifts her hands up, aiming the discharger straighter. Kara's eyes sparkle.
Oh?
She sinks her shoulders into his broad chest.
I see.
I don't want to watch this anymore. I scramble off the bedroll. They blink in surprise.
Oh, hey.
Face turns beet red.
How are you feeling?
A bit nauseous, to be honest. Kara laughs and Zach's face turns even redder. I walk away looking for anything else to focus on. I notice Amelia sitting under a tree, flipping open a book. Leanna sits with her, looking over the shoulder at the pages. The colorful cover catches my attention. Hey guys! Leanna looks up at me.
Oh, you're awake. How are you feeling?
Better?
That's good.
No, it's not the hentai. We have the hentai. She has the magical girl one. That's good.
That is pleasant news indeed.
I nod. How is your character book? Amy looks up at me with shining eyes.
Surprisingly enlightening. Of course, it's riddled with factual inaccuracies, but the character interactions are fascinating. It has greatly changed my view on these sorts of novels.
Glad to hear it.
Leanna and I have been exploring this fascinating fictional world together.
Leanna smiles fondly.
Yep, it's been fun getting to hang out together.
Remember my own purchase, I rummaged them back to find the manga, then returned to them. Mind if I join you two? Amy shakes her head.
The company would be welcomed.
We have the hentai book, remember guys? So, I sit down and lean back into a tree, sighing contentedly. This is pretty relaxing. The leaves swaying in the warm breeze, the cool shade, and some good old-fashioned hentai. I flip through the pages, appreciating the level of clothing each woman wears, or isn't wearing. I find myself getting immersed in the manga when I come across a picture of a woman wrapped in tentacles. This looks pretty familiar. Hey, Leanna! Oh no. No, is that really gonna happen? Oh no, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Fuck, it's gonna happen. I nudge her and she looks up.
Yeah?
Remember this? I brandish the manga and point at the page. Leanna's eyes go wide. She lets out a high-pitched squeak, then shoves the book close and punches my arm. Ow!
Why are you reading something like that?
For the pictures? For the story? Or do you really want me to answer that? C. We got one C. A is lying. Do you want to go with B? B. We got one B. Okay, we'll go with B. Because of all the sexy pictures, obviously. Leanna's eyes grow wide.
I can't believe you just admit that.
What? What's the point? That's the point of character books too, right? To look at the pictures?
Yeah, but I wasn't talking about just character books. I was talking about, you know, that.
She gestures towards the hang of manga. I pretend not to understand. Like what? This is a character book. Her face burns red.
Never mind.
Leanna snatches the manga out of my hands. Hey!
I'm confiscating this.
She marches away in a scramble after her. No, I paid for that! When I catch up to Leanna, she's sitting alone. The book is nowhere to be found. Oh well, I'll get it from her next time. I'm too tired to argue about this now. I sit down next to her. Although calm, she looks over me with a slight worry in her eyes. I'm sorry I fell asleep earlier. She shakes her head dismissively.
Don't worry about it. You seem like you really needed it.
I guess I did. We fell quiet for a second.
Our training earlier today. You've gotten a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I've taught you everything I can at this point.
I paused. Does it mean no more training? So are you gonna say I'm gonna miss training? I can finally sleep in, or thanks for all you have done? Let's see. You're gonna be nice? We could be an asshole. We're gonna be nice, okay. I know I've been progressing very quickly, but I never would have gotten this far without Leanna's continual guidance. I really appreciate everything you've done for me so far. Seriously, I wouldn't know how to cast or fight properly if you hadn't taken the time to show me. She smiles warmly.
Don't make it sound like it's over. It's not. We'll continue practicing to make sure you hone your skills. But now that you've progressed so quickly, I foresee our sparring becoming even more evenly matched. And with your multi-elemental casting, well, I'll also be challenged and looking to improve my skills too.
There's an exciting glint in her eye. I think she's looking forward to a challenge. So, should we say I'll go easy on you and be cocky? Unlike Han Solo, who says don't be cocky, kid. Should we say it'd be nice being the one on top for once? I mean, she is a bottom, but I don't think that's what we're going for. Or are we gonna go C? Let's do our best. We got 2 C's. I look forward to us learning together. Leanna smiles. The embers in the fire die down as the rest of the team gets ready for bed. Leanna and I decide to turn in so we can get a head start in the morning. We have lost some time due to my impromptu nap. she is. All girls are. It's just a level. There's just at different levels. Even level 0 is still a level. Even though I slept all day, I still feel exhausted and I'm fast asleep as soon as I lie down. Alright, that is end of day. Give me about a few minutes. I'm gonna take a quick walk, stretch my legs, and I will be back say in about 5 minutes. Let's do a quick 5-minute break, and gonna get a fresh cup of coffee, and I shall return. I just love how you guys think I walk away. And And it's like, quick, let's do something. But then you guys forget that I'm watching the chat on my phone as I'm monitoring the stream. And it's like, trying to be all sneaky. And it's like, wait, Kincha's still here. And it's like, fuck. One thing about being a Kincha is always around. My body feels achy and sore the next morning. I groan, but pushed past the pain. I have felt the sore since we first started traveling. We have a quick breakfast, then clean up the campsite before resuming our travels. I continue to practice with Leanna and my teammates. I slowly seem to be getting a better grasp on the multi-elemental casting. Each time I have to be careful with how much energy I use. My body feels fatigued after each battle, but I'm careful to make sure I don't reach the same level of fatigue as the first time I tried casting all of the elements. After another 3 days journey, the landscape changes from green trees to dry sand. The heat burns my skin. I can feel it radiating off the sand. A part of me wishes to be back north with the cold again. The sun only intensifies the dry heat, steaming up the desert sands. I hate the desert. It's coarse and gets everywhere. Game is lower. I mean, I can lower it even more to minus 12 decibels from minus 10. I let out a grateful breath as we near the city gates. 2 guards stand watch at the entrance. Their deep caramel skin contrasts with their white tunics. As we draw near, they watch us warily, acutely aware of our different garb, but they allow us to pass. Oh, crap. What's this one? Actually, guys, let's call it a night here, because 1, it is starting to get late. I didn't realize what time it is, and 2, there's an event here, and if I do the event last, it won't be a good starter for tomorrow. So what we'll do is we will start this tomorrow. Here, we will leave here. English, do's I speak it. Do's I speak it. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And remember, train with Amy every night. Good night, everyone!